It was a good bounce back for us. I think we were a little emotionally drained after those close losses will build up on you. In New Mexico State, that was a tough one, being up there, and we started off a little sluggish. I thought we were a little hungover, but really stayed with it. And we turned them over 12 times first half, so we were kind of into it. And we had some guys that didn't play great against New Mexico State step up, and Andre and DJ. Thought they played really well.
Jamie, go ahead.
Coach, just talk about DJ a little bit. I mean, first career double-double, career high in both those categories with 21 and 10, and just timely threes. I mean, that big. He had, I think, 9 of you guys 10 when you stretched the lead back from 10 to 20. I mean, how important was that kind of that in terms of the momentum?
Yeah, no, it's nice to see. Their game plan was not to guard our fours and pack it in and make it hard on our bigs. And it didn't matter. I guess the scout was that, because when DJ got in the game, I was like, they're not guarding DJ, so you got to shoot it. And then they adjusted, and it was good to see him just being aggressive about it. And because he's got a really good feel, good brain, good understanding. He's gotten more athletic. And it's a nice. Hopefully he rolls with this. 21-10 against anybody, Division I is great. So it was a good outing for him.
The one play I think that stands out is the save on the baseline, comes back in, hits the three. I think at that point, you guys were up 14. If that goes out of bounds, they have a chance to cut it back to 11, put you back up 17. DJ said he thought it kind of demoralized them. Just how important is a play like that, where a guy makes the play, then makes another play, and gets fouled?
He had a bunch of them the whole game, and really the first one that got us going was Muhammad in the first half. He got on the floor, got a timeout, and it was a tight game, and then we kind of pushed out from there, and those plays are big. And I thought, like, the crazy intentional foul, which I think might have been, or whatever, the hook and hold, but it took them 10 minutes to adjudicate. Like, come on, fellas. And they made their 2 free throws, and then they got a 3, and they got a 3. So they made a little run out of that. And those plays like that can be momentum changer, especially a team that relies on the 3. And so DJ kind of did the same thing for us and spread it out. And we need them. We need everybody. And because I just, we had some guys that weren't as good, and that's, some of the youth and trying to become get better, where we can get everyone firing.
I think another big thing we saw is just Andre attacking the rim, and it's just not something we saw a whole lot last year, and we've seen it in spurts this year, but really an aggressiveness from him. I mean, how much does that change the way that you can utilize him when he's willing to go to the rim and take the contact and finish at the rim?
He's a really good ball handler, and he's a good shooter, good passer. And part of the thing, when he penetrates, he's got to be able to finish, or else they're going to play his pass. And he's getting more confident, and it's good to see. We'd like to play through his hands. He's at forward, and his pick and roll. He's a good pick and roll player, so getting him in there, and he'll find guys for shots. And it'd be nice if he just keeps. He's a young guy. He's only technically a freshman, and he gives us a different look offensively.
And then it just, they get it down to 10, and we've seen the issues at times with that and maintaining leads. And did you kind of have to say, guys, we're not doing this again? Someone's got to make a play?
I did it with 18 minutes ago, and as we were up at 19 or whatever, I said, listen, we were in the same boat against New Mexico State, pretty much the same boat against Eastern Washington. I said, we've got to find a way to get confident and finish these teams off. So. And then they made a run. They got it to 10 or 9 or whatever it was, and we pushed it out and did a better job.
And then last thing, it seems Ty's in a bit of a funk right now, and you could kind of see him just even from where we were, letting out some yells and just obviously frustrated with himself. What do you kind of have to tell him to get his confidence going and to kind of help him, work through this, the slump? To
be honest, I was excited. We were plus 20 in his 26 minutes. On the floor, he really helps us. You're fine. You're fine. He guards. He gives us another quickness. He gives us another ball handler. And, it kind of bummed me out. They called the charge on him, which was like a leg charge, but we banged the 3, kicked it out. I think even Rodman kicked it to Rodman, and I was like, It was one of those kind of floppy calls. But I was like, don't worry. He's hard on himself. I'm like, we were better with you on the floor. When the score's not going the right way, worry, because I really got that corner 3 wide open last one. And I was like, would have been nice for him to get that, but he's tough. He's tough mind. Like I say, he's not used to losing. Plays the right way. He's gonna be fine. He's not shocked. He was a little ahead of pace, to start this season like because he's got some rust, man. He didn't play last year, and he'll work his way through it.
DJ kind of said that he and Andre had been challenged by the staff. What did that conversation kind of look like?
Well, it's probably I can't repeat it, but you can imagine something about your manhood being challenged. Like, hey, let's not. If you're gonna lose, let's go out swinging, man. Basically, like, don't be afraid to fail. We felt against New Mexico State, both of them were a little tentative, and it's like, come on, it's better to go out trying, man. Be a trier, don't be a hider. And I thought DJ had a rough game defensively and against, which is unusual for him. He has trouble with, like, Teddy Allen was a good player, and we did a good job in first half, but some of the switch stuff, he was leaving his feet, and then he wouldn't shoot. He missed a few threes, and he wouldn't shoot them. It's like, you got to shoot them. It's hard to get a good shot. You're a good shooter, and when you turn those down, it makes it tough. So that was DJ's deal, and Andre kind of got the same thing. And I actually told Coach Shaw with Andre, I said, look, I don't have the energy for it. You seem to have a lot of energy at your age. Coach the way he coached Jazz when he was a sophomore. Jazz, he was on. I said, you got to be on Jazz 24/7, and he broke through. Now, unfortunately, left us, but he broke through and he got confident. He got tough. There's moments, and that's part of the maturation process for everyone. It's like there's a point where which way you're going to go. Am I going to fall back in excuses and blame coaches, or am I going to man up? Can you say that anymore? I don't know. Masculine up. I don't know. Get tough. So that's kind of, and they did, and hopefully, we got some really good teams coming at us, and hopefully build on this and have some confidence.
Are you pleased with the volume of 3-pointers you guys are taking right now?
We take a lot.
Straight game with 30-plus.
30s.
It's kind of what we are. They really packed it in on drives and stuff, so we're going to have to it's kind of what we do on certain guys, like Flowers. He's going to shoot a lot of threes. Rodman should stretch the floor. Andre, Ty's going to. So not mad. And so you got to take what the defense gives you tonight. They definitely were. Their objective was to clog the paint and dare us. Rightfully so. The way Rodman was tentative against New Mexico State, they're probably, hey, let's see it. And really, they're just daring to make shots.
And with a little bit of offensive funk, with some guys still going through it, it seems. How much does kind of that start defensively, especially the first half defensively, just offset something like that?
So we got to defend. We are rebounding. They're pushing us around a little bit. We rallied on the rebounding, and our ball handling was great. We shared the ball. We're 14 assists, 8 turnovers. Shot it okay, not great, but the low turnovers gives us a chance. I think it helps our defense. We've had some, like South Dakota State, we only had 8 turnovers, but 5 of them were live ball turnovers that turned into baskets. And like I said, I don't think we play anyone on our schedule that is like South Dakota State or Northern Colorado, where they're just going to spray you and make you pay. We can put out a lineup that's more like them. It's when you go Andre and Rodman and Ty and Mike, you kind of have 4 guys who can really space the floor. I don't know if we'll be doing that, but that's kind of, I'm done with those teams. They really, it's like, I think Coach Andrzejczyk said, it's like preparing for a test we'll never see again. We're not going to see this next 19 games too much that I can, unless it's situational. But it's tough getting ready for those games, and you have to play a little differently. So, like Deshaun didn't play as much tonight, and I'll just tell you, tell big fella, it's okay. We need you, and you'll be fine.
Any questions online? Any more? Jamie, one more.
Modelo time.
Sorry. You can answer.
Go ahead.
Joe McHale, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Joe McHale with KHQ. Just curious if you've had time, obviously one game at a time, but to see what Boise State's been up to. I know it's your next opponent back in the arena. I think they've won 4 in a row. Just what have you seen from them and what they do well and what challenges they're going to present? I'm
glad you gave me that out of not looking ahead and one at a time. But I'll be honest, I peaked a little bit because the guys kind of turned their season, started this 4-game winning streaks from Spokane, Tyson Degenhardt. And he's a guy we recruited. He chose Boise over Washington State, and so I know he'll be ready in his hometown. He's a good player. It's just kind of when we first got here. And we hadn't quite established ourselves. So they're a lot of 5-out stuff. They're really good defensively. They're long. They're athletic, and they got a Coug running their program. So they got to respect. And known Coach Rice. Oh gosh, since I was 23, he tried to get me a job in Northern Colorado. Ironically, when he was working there. So compete against him a lot, and to look forward to it. It's a good game for the community going into Christmas break, and good opportunity for us to play against a really good team.
You mentioned Tyson, that you had recruited him. Just what was it about him that piqued your interest that he does so well?
He's a tough nut. I mean, we were just talking about it. It's like literally our first year. I don't think they changed the recruiting calendar. I got to see him play for about 5 minutes, and he came down on unofficial, and I really hadn't seen him play much, but he was tough. And I mean, I think he has a Coug logo on his backboard at home. It really depresses me. His dad came down with an Iron Maiden T-shirt and an earring. I was like, and a shaved head. I was like, how's this guy end up at Boise? This guy's a Coug. So he just snorts. The best way to play. He's one of those guys that snorts, man. There's smoke coming out of his nostrils. He's tough. I forget what high school is he? Mount Spokane, or I don't know. One of those. He's good. So. I know it's a big game for him. He's got it circled, and the other guys are good players. But he just they were struggling early, and I was watching Dickow. Dan Dickow tried to tell me he's good enough when I was at San Francisco, and I texted him. I said, "You were right." And I was watching him against Santa Clara, and I was like, not looking forward to them. So we'll be ready.